A look at some of the local election results from last night where women of color are making history. I'm joined now by two of them. Yvonne Spicer, who just became the first ever mayor-elect in the newly designated city of Framingham. She's also the first black woman to be popularly elected mayor in the state. Congratulations, Mayor-elect. It's good to meet you. Lydia Edwards, who won a hard-fought race in Boston's 1st District, helping tip the scales. So come January, the City Council in Boston will be made up of more women of color than ever before. Councilor-elect, good to see you. Again, thanks so much for coming. So if you were the headline writer for the Metro West Daily News, what would the headline have been today about you?
The people mayor succeeds and the people win.
How about you in the Boston Globe? What would it have been?
Probably would have been an independent voice with integrity is now representing District 1.
All good headlines. Well, I had a feeling you would not say what I would have said in this. Let's start with you. First popularly elected African-American woman in Massachusetts as mayor. That's a huge deal, is it not? Is it not to you?
Well, I've been the first of many things.
Yeah.
So, you know, even though I see it as national news, it really doesn't feel that it's the biggest news that happened. The most important thing is that Framingham gets a fresh voice with a new vision and something wonderful, and in a community that is majority white.
Yeah, but I was going to follow up with that. I mean, what is it, 65% white in Framingham?
Yes.
But while you're almost back-burnering that, isn't that wildly important in an American politics that is not nearly as diverse as most people think it should be? It doesn't reflect the people it represents for the most part?
Well, for the most part, I think it reflects that Framingham is a community that has committed itself to wanting something different. And not only did they do it in this election, but in the preliminary election where I won 54% of the vote and 59% this round. So it's clear to me that Framingham sees me as a leader that can move the needle for them.
Yeah, and let's go to the City Council. 6 women of color in the council. You know, a couple things I read in the Globe today are unbelievable. First woman of color ever elected, Ayanna Pressley, was just 8 years ago, which is stunning. In a majority-minority city, it seems to me, yet again, this is a major statement. Are you going to downplay yours in the same way she's downplaying hers, or no?
Well, I don't know that it's downplaying. I think neither one of us are surprised that we are women of color. And I think a lot of both of us have had wonderful opportunities where, yes, we have knocked on the door, we've broken down barriers in our lives, but, you know, running races or being in a campaign is about the connections that you make with people. It's about how you are able to deliver a message that really resonates with them. And so I don't think it's downplaying. I think we're very both humbled by the fact that we are elected to do and represent a wonderful district.
But I want to make it bigger, if I may, and you're the one who won. I didn't, so maybe I'm wrong, is when you have, I mean, as I said a minute ago, when Ayanna Pressley was the first woman of color in the Boston, majority-minority city, I don't know if it was then, but I know it is now, and then all of a sudden, 8 years later, we have these kinds of numbers. If diversity matters to the population, there's a message in there somewhere, isn't that, to little girls in particular of color about what their possibilities are in a city that, to a great degree, has shut them out, at least from high elective office. Isn't there that message in there?
I think when you think about the impact, there's two ways, right? There's folks who are looking at the impact in terms of, okay, well, now we have this many women of color, so what are they going to do that's different? But I agree with you when it comes to the visual, what girls are saying, what young people of color are saying, even what young white kids are saying in terms of what is Boston, who gets to define it, who gets to be at the table. I think that those images are very powerful.
How does it, I'll ask the question you just included in your answer there. What do those 6 women, how do those 6 women change the city of Boston? I mean, as you know, Tito Jackson was the first person of color to make it into a final since Mel King, a pretty long time ago, more than 3 decades ago. What difference are we going to see come 6 months from now, a year from now, do you think, because of the ascension of the 6 of you?
I don't know. Is that fair?
That's
I don't know.
Okay, and let's go back to your 65% white city. I mean, that, to me, sends a really powerful message. And I agree with both of you. I mean, it's a cat. Ultimately, at the end of the day, people have to vote for a person. They're not voting for the color of a person's skin or whether they're saying she will be the best leader. She will be the best leader. But there is something bigger than that that comes out of your election. I mean, is there a message in your ability to win in a town where 65% of the elect, 2 out of 3 voters or 2 out of 3 people are white? Is there a carry away from that or no?
Well, I think it was built on trust. And I think over the course of my campaign, I led a campaign on integrity, honesty, and transparency. And that was my message. And that commitment was important to Framingham. I've lived in Framingham for 32 years. So people saw that, and meeting them on the doors, talking to them about their concerns, they felt that I had a track record of achieving success. So that was something that was very important to people.
You told me, I asked you before we went on the air, if you'd met before. One of you want to say when you met? Sort of significant, I think. Do you want to say it, Mayor-elect?
Well, we met we both had interviews at the Massachusetts Women Political Caucus, and we were up for interviews, and we were waiting in the waiting area and struck up a conversation with each other and vowed to keep in touch and wished us each other luck.
Do you think she had a chance?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think she had a chance?
Oh, without a doubt.
How excited
yes.
are you? What's your excitement? You seem so calm. What's your excitement level about? I mean, it's a pretty big deal. I mean, just winning an office. I'm not now talking about any larger messages. What are you feeling?
I'm exhausted, and so I think that's probably we really worked hard for months,
yes.
And so it's not so much being calm. It's just it's
tired.
It's a little bit of being tired, overwhelmed, humbled, and so I just you're still taking it in.
You beat a guy who was endorsed by a really powerful mayor. Does that make you nervous at all?
No.
Has Marty Walsh called you?
Yes.
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 How was that conversation?
He actually left a message. I'll be calling him back, and it's fine. And I think at the end of the day, what I look at when I ever get nervous is the numbers and the doors knocked and the fact that we did it together.
And how about you? Not only first African American mayor popular-elect, the first mayor ever of your hometown. What's that feeling like?
That feels terrific. It feels absolutely wonderful. And the thing that, once again, that came very clear to me is that if people believed in Yvonne Spicer, they believe this was a woman that has a proven track record of success. And we want to take our shot on her to make sure that Framingham moves forward and the bar is set high, and certainly the goals are to move us in a way that makes good sense for our community. And I felt good about that.
I'm really glad you two were kind enough to spend part of the first night after with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Spicer,
Thanks a lot.
City Councilor. My goodness, it's great. Nice to see you both.